Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we will be discussing from the 47th verse of the 18th chapter of the first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Apapeshu swabhrityeshu balena apakva buddhina papam kritam tad bhagavan sarvatma kshantum arhati. The meaning of this verse is, then the Rishi prayed to the all-pervading personality of Godhead to pardon his immature boy who had no intelligence and who committed the great sin of cursing a person who was completely free from all sins, who was subordinate and who deserved to be protected. So this is the statement of Suta Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya. He is describing the whole incident leading to Parikshit Maharaj renouncing his kingdom and meeting Shukadev Goswami, after which the Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So, Srila Prabhupada explains elaborately this in the purport. Everyone is responsible for his own action, either pious or sinful. This is the law of karma in this material world. Rishi Shamika could foresee that his son had committed a great sin by cursing Maharaj Parikshit, who deserved to be protected by the Brahmanas, for he, that is Parikshit Maharaj, was a pious ruler and completely free from all sins because of his being a first-class devotee of the Lord. So Parikshit Maharaj, as a pure devotee, deserves to be protected by the Brahmanas. Instead, he is being cursed. It's totally unjust. So Srila Prabhupada further says, when an offense is done unto the devotee of the Lord, it is very difficult to overcome the reaction. Vaishnava aparadh is very, very, very dangerous. Generally, Vaishnava aparadh cannot be overcome by the person who has committed that offense or aparadh. It cannot be overcome. So further Srila Prabhupada says, the Brahmanas, being at the head of the social orders, are meant to give protection to their subordinates and not to curse them. A superior, when dealing with somebody who is a subordinate, has to be considerate. If they do some mistake, they cannot be disproportionately punished. In general, they should not be punished when they make a mistake, especially when they are subordinate and they have not done a big mistake. For their small mistakes, they should not be punished. There are occasions when a Brahmana may furiously curse a subordinate Kshatriya or Vaishya. But in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, there were no grounds as already explained. This was explained elaborately in the previous verse. The foolish boy had done it out of sheer vanity. Vanity means pride. In being a Brahmana's son, and thus he became liable to be punished by the law of God. Above the law of nature is the Supreme Lord's personal superintendence. This is very important to note. It appears like the nature's laws are working in an impersonal way, because we don't see generally the hand of any person. Just like the seasons are changing, the sun is rising every day. And what is the explanation of the scientists, so-called scientists? They have no explanation how it is happening. Scriptures are very clear. Bhishasmad vatah pavate bhishodeti suryaha. Out of fear of the Supreme Lord, who is the controller, director of the entire material nature, the sun is rising every day. The wind is blowing properly to ensure supply of air for all the living beings on the earth. This is unknown to modern scientists. This is unknown to most people in today's world. Krishna is the supreme director, controller, master. Under him there is a whole big administration of the devatas headed by Brahma. Everyone is working under the superintendence of Krishna. This is unknown. So here Prabhupada is pointing out, if some of the devatas, subordinate controllers, make a mistake, then they are liable to be punished by God, Krishna. So Prabhupada further says, the Lord never forgives a person who condemns his pure devotee. Krishna is very, very attached to his pure devotees. He is called Bhaktivedanta. Therefore, by cursing a king, the foolish Shringi had committed not only a sin, but also the greatest offense. There is a difference between offense and sin. Sin is directly violating the laws of nature in our material activities. Offense is any offense done to a pure devotee, to a Vaishnava. Offending a Vaishnava is on a different level. Committing a sin whereby one violates the material laws of nature is different. Therefore, the Rishi could foresee that only the Supreme Personality of Godhead could save his boy from his sinful act. Offense is dealt with only by the Supreme Lord, directly. The other subordinate controllers in material nature have no role to play. They cannot do anything about the offense. Further, Srila Prabhupada says, he therefore directly prayed for pardon from the Supreme Lord, who alone can undo a thing which is impossible to change. Even the laws of nature, which work perfectly, they can be changed only by Krishna. Nobody else can change it. No devata, no yogi, no tapasvi, no jnani, no rishi can change any of the laws of nature. They are working perfectly. But Krishna can change. The appeal was made in the name of a foolish boy who had developed no intelligence at all. Rishi Shamika is appealing to the Supreme Lord that my boy, who is a foolish boy, he made a mistake. It was a big mistake, but he is a foolish boy, kindly pardoned him. Now, Srila Prabhupada further explains very nicely. A question may be raised herein that since it was the desire of the Lord that Parikshit Maharaj be put into that awkward position so that he might be delivered from material existence, then why was a Brahmana's son made responsible for this offensive act? See, earlier it is explained that Parikshit could not have become angry against the sage, Shamika Rishi, normally according to his proper conduct as a pure devotee. It was arranged by Krishna. So actually it is not Parikshit's mistake at all to have become angry against Shamika Rishi and provoke that Brahmana boy, the son of the Rishi. No. Parikshit is not at fault. Krishna arranged it so that Bhagavatam can be spoken. That was Krishna's higher purpose. But then why is the Brahmana's son made responsible? The Brahmana's son has made the mistake. Why is he in the picture? Is the question that may be raised. So Srila Prabhupada says, the answer is that the offensive act was performed by a child only so that he could be excused very easily. So Krishna arranged a child to make a mistake of cursing Parikshit, so that the child can be excused, because children, if they make a mistake, they are not to be punished like an adult who makes a mistake. And thus, the prayer of the father was accepted. Krishna accepted, yes, your boy is a foolish boy, he is an immature boy, he deserves to be pardoned for his mistake, big mistake. Then further Prabhupada raises another question. If the question is raised why the Brahmana community as a whole was made responsible for allowing Kali into the world affairs. See, one brahmachari boy misusing his Brahmanical power, the whole Brahmana community is held responsible that Kali has entered through this boy and is now going to pollute the rest of the Brahmanas in Kali Yuga, become polluted. So why the whole Brahmana community as a whole is getting polluted by this whole act? So the answer, Srila Prabhupada says, for this is given in the Varaha Purana. What is the answer in the Varaha Purana? The demons who acted inimically toward personality of Godhead but were not killed by the Lord Krishna, when Krishna incarnated in Dwapar Yuga, end of Dwapar Yuga, such demons were allowed to take birth in the families of Brahmanas to take advantage of the age of Kali. So who are these Brahmanas in Kali Yuga who don't follow the Brahmanical principles but act irreligiously under the influence of Kali? These Brahmanas were formerly demons who deserved to be killed and purified by the Supreme Lord, but they were not killed. So such Brahmanas are taking birth in Brahmana families in the age of Kali, in which they are polluted. So Srila Prabhupada says further, the all-merciful Lord gave them a chance to have their births in families of pious Brahmanas so that they could progress towards salvation. The demons missed the chance of being killed by the Supreme Lord and thereby become purified. So now they are given another chance for purification. Take birth in Brahmana families and thereby make some progress towards ultimate liberation. But the demons, instead of utilizing the good opportunity, misuse the Brahmanical culture due to being puffed up by vanity in becoming Brahmanas. Now, Kali Yuga, there's a good opportunity. Taking birth in a Brahmana family, in any age, there is good opportunity to make progress. But if they don't utilize, then they are the losers. That's what is explained here. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.